This is DJ Graz 007 The Force, coming to you live from sunny Sydney in Australia. And today I'm going through the dioramas on Battlefront. Now most of these are fairly straightforward and they just require you to spend a few hours on the game. However, there are two or three that are rather difficult and I'll be going through the strategy. So on some of these dioramas I'll only spend a few seconds and on some I'll be spending a bit of time. The first one is the AT-AT, and to unlock that, all you require is to play 30 matches of Walker Assault, and it's irrelevant whether you are on the winning or losing team. To unlock the Airspeeder, you need to win 10 matches in each of the original multiplayer modes, so they're the original 8 modes. Now for 7 of them, they're fairly straightforward because all you need to do is to be on the winning team on the modes like Walker Assault, Droid Run, and etc. However, there is one mode that will provide a challenge, and that's Hero Hunt. Now, the best strategy for Hero Hunt I would suggest is to either pick Princess Leia or the Emperor so that you can heal yourself, and secondly, try to fight a game with only 4 or 5 players. Firstly, because if you're the hero, you'll be able to take them out and not be overwhelmed. And secondly, if someone else gets the hero, if you just hang on in the game and wait for it to reload, it will respawn a new hero and pick a player at random. And if you're the one that's picked, then you've got a very good chance of winning. Personally, I won 10 games, but it took 57 attempts, so there is a bit of investment in time required and practice, but it can be done. To reach level 3 trait, you go through the traits one at a time and note down on a piece of paper as you've reached level 3 on each one, and all that's required is just to get a certain number of kills in a row, and those kills do not have to be related to the trait. It's just basically a kill streak. I really dislike the Shadow Troopers in the survival missions, not for their invisibility so much, but for their one-shot kills, especially on Master, so beware of those guys. To unlock Princess Leia, just keep playing the game until you reach rank 50. To complete all the battle missions on Master difficulty, I would suggest getting a second player to help you, because on your own they're almost impossible and you get overwhelmed by the numbers, especially on level 15. If you have another player with you, you basically split the enemy in half and it gives you a much better chance, particularly when you have 2 or 3 ATSTs running after you. You might want to see some of the videos on YouTube which show the best places to camp. There's one particular spot on Sullust that you can crouch under and be protected from both the ATSTs and the fighters. The collectibles refers to the 5 icons that you can collect in each survival mission. Most of them are located in very obvious spots, and there are a couple that are located in mid-air which requires a jetpack to access them. The best way to do this is to look for them while you're completing the game on easy difficulty, so it gives you plenty of time to find them and then you can clear out the enemies.
Sono un Jedi, questo non cambierà mai!
250 soldiers need to be killed while you play as any hero in any game mode.
Obi-Wan ti ha insegnato bene.
$250 headshot kills, and this can be done with any weapon, so a sniper rifle from distance or using a blaster pistol at blank range. Completing all survival missions on Master difficulty. Same advice as with the collectibles. Complete it on easy first, then do it on hard so you get familiar with the change of behaviour of the troopers, and then on Master I strongly recommend getting a second player to assist you. Now, it will count even if the other player has already got all the stars. Collecting all stars in the original game includes in the training and battle missions. The training missions you should be able to do on your own. They can be done with a partner, but they're fairly straightforward. The battle missions will have to be done on your own because the game doesn't allow for multiplayer cooperation. And for the survival missions, a second player, particularly at master difficulty, is essential. "1,500 kills as an Imperial soldier will not take you long at all." Use a pen and a piece of paper and note down when you get a kill with each star card, and also when you get a kill with each weapon. I found that I tried to do it by memory alone, and I had one more sector to fill in, and it took me forever to work out that in fact it was the bowcaster that I didn't get a kill with. So to save time, just note it down on a pen and paper as you achieve each one.
Non sei furbo come credi.
Destroying 150 vehicles can be done in Fighter Squadron or any other mode. That also includes taking someone out that's sitting in a turret. To achieve this collectible, all you need to do is fly any vehicle for a total of 10 hours, and it's a cumulative hours. Base Command refers to the card-playing game that comes with Battlefront. It's actually quite a straightforward game, and with a bit of practice, I've managed to get all 384 stars, and to be honest with you, I actually love this game. But to unlock this particular collectible, all you need to do is to get a 3-star rating on the very first siege. So when you go to the list of maps in Base Command, it'll be the very first one that comes up. And the enemies you encounter, they don't have any special abilities and shields, so they can all be taken out using the X-Wings and the Airspeeders and the A-Wings. Achieving a rank 10 should only take 2 or 3 days at most. $1 million score will be earned by continuously playing the game. For my own time, it was approximately 3 weeks.
Potrai anche avermi trovato, ma non mi catturerai mai.
But I do know of a couple of players in my party that achieved $1 million score in less than a day, so there are some hardcore gamers out there, and kudos to them. To unlock the Tatooine Rebel, 1,500 kills as a Rebel soldier.
Ecco che arrivano!
200 power-ups. This actually refers to the bonuses that can be picked up in most game modes. So the bonuses that give you the imploder, the blaster cannon, the ion turret, infantry turret, and so forth. All you need to do is just pick up the power-up and activate it. Whether you get a kill with that power-up or not is irrelevant for the purposes of this collectible. Everybody's favourite rebel smuggler ship, the Millennium Falcon. You unlock the hero bonus on Fighter Squadron, flying either the Millennium Falcon or Slave 1, and you just go crazy. Now we come to the DLCs. This particular collectible relates to the Outer Rim for 9 num, and all that's required is to defeat 50 heroes. The other Outer Rim collectible is GREEDO. Same advice as for Boba Fett, a pen and paper, and note down when you get a kill with each star card and each weapon. Thankfully, Battlefront actually notes the weapon that you use to obtain the kill, so you can be absolutely sure that you have done it. Good to see that GREEDO shoots first. There's been a lot of criticism about the Cloud car, and it's been compared to the speeder bike on Endor, so anything you touch or anything that shoots at you and you blow up immediately. However, on Fighter Squadron, the advantage of the Cloud car is it's extremely difficult for enemies to lock on. Now, the best way to get the 100 kills, I find, is to find an enemy that's on low health and lock onto them with your missiles. The blasters do a lot of damage, but they seem to have difficulty locking onto the target, so a bit of patience is required. And also, you may need to play a few of the maps in Bestman before it finally cycles onto Fighter Squadron. Nevertheless, I find them a very enjoyable ship to fly. Now we come to the Bestman DLCs. For Dengar, pen and paper, and note as you get the kills with each star card and weapon.
Assaggiate questi!
Note that if you use a kill, or use a hero or villain that has a new weapon, and you get a kill with that particular hero or villain, that counts as much as if you got the kill as a rebel soldier or imperial soldier with that weapon. For Lando, it's very straightforward. Just play 5 hours on the Bestman DLC.
La situazione si fa esplosiva.
And finally, for the Death Star DLCs, so to unlock CHEWBACCA, who's one of my favourite heroes, you just need to reach rank 75. And finally we come to Bosk. Same advice as before, pen and paper, and note the kills with the star cards and new weapons. And so that covers all the dioramas that are available in Battlefront. There'll be probably 2 or 3 more available once the Rogue Squadron or Rogue One Scarif DLC comes out in late December. I have to say that a couple of these dioramas are difficult to obtain, but persistence pays off. I'm not the best player in the world, but I persisted and developed a couple of strategies for the more difficult ones, and I have to say that I'm actually quite proud of my collection. But the other reason why I like going for the dioramas is not so much to say, oh, look at me, I've got 27 out of 27, but the dioramas sometimes force you to either try a star card or a weapon that you otherwise wouldn't have tested, but also you develop different strategies depending on the maps that you're playing to try and get those dioramas, and in the end you actually get a lot more out of the game because you tend to have more experiences. So you're familiar with all the weapons opposed to only knowing about, say, the 280 blaster and the DLT 19 heavy blaster, but you've never tried the SEC, or you've never found out that the E4 is actually quite effective at close range. So, but I hope this tour has been of some help. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to message me, and thank you very much for listening.